The Devourers did not look so fearsome in person. They were short, stocky bipeds who seemed like nothing out of the ordinary compared to most Federation races. Their height would only put them up at about the average human shoulders, and their skin was a pale lavender hue. I had no doubt that the lean, muscled Terran soldiers could toss them around if they wanted to. Had the boarding party taken the enemy ship just a few minutes later, it would have been left empty-handed. As it were, the humans had only been able to revive one of the two occupants. Our prisoner was then transported back to the flagship and moved to the medical wing, where he was restored to stable condition. He was kept restrained and would be guarded round the clock by watchful sentries. I tagged along with Commander Rykov as he headed towards Medbay. It would be interesting to witness the human interrogation tactics. After seeing the cruel pleasure in their eyes during battle, I wondered if they would torture the prisoner for information. It certainly was within the realm of possibility. An assistant handed the commander a cup filled with steaming brown liquid as we walked. When I inquired as to what it was, he explained that it was called coffee and was a mild stimulant. I simply nodded, not wanting to offend my host. Internally, however, I thought it was in extremely poor taste for an officer to be consuming drugs on duty. It was a bad example to set for his subordinates. The prisoner was just staring as we arrived at our destination. He looked a bit disoriented, but oddly enough, he was not struggling against the restraints. A laptop was stationed by his bedside, with an audio capture running on screen. "Will our translation software work?" I whispered to Rykov. The human shrugged in response.
It should. Our program has gone over all their transmissions that we have on record, and hopefully it was able to decipher their language from that.
The enemy captive spoke a few syllables of gibberish, and the computer piped up in Galactic Common a second later. The two words chilled me to the bone. It said,
"Help us."
Commander Rykov blinked in confusion.
Help you? Okay, back up. First off, what is your name and rank?
There was a pause as the computer translated the question, and then another as it processed the response.
My name is BM. You do not know what this rank is you speak of.
You don't have some sort of hierarchy? I asked.
The Master is in charge of us all. We obey or suffer the consequences. There is no escape.
Rykov took a tentative step forward.
Who is the Master? Why did you attack us?
The prisoner emitted a strange vibration, which the computer identified as laughter.
The more accurate question is, what is the Master? I see now that you know nothing. I just assumed people with your technology would be aware of our history. We were once a great species. When I was young, I remember being in awe of the technology we invented. I can say with confidence that we were the greatest builders in our galaxy. The irony is that it was our craftiness that destroyed us. We created an artificial intelligence with a single directive. It was to create a world without scarcity. It was given authority to govern our resources and power our cities. We thought that we could create a utopia, ending all want, labor and suffering. It was too good to be true. The machine pondered the problem. We assumed it would create some grand new form of energy, or that it would optimize asteroid mining. But it found a different solution. The only way to avoid scarcity was to control all of the resources in the universe. It would take them by force and use us as its army.
Trying to picture the Devourers as a peaceful species of inventors was difficult. For years, Federation intelligence had watched them destroy any species that dared to defend their home planet. They encircled stars with absorptive panels and plundered planets without a second thought for the lifeforms they rendered extinct. We were told that the enemy could not be reasoned with, and that their greed was unparalleled. But if what BM said was true, then they were unwilling participants the entire time. Their mindless, mechanical behavior made much more sense if they were under the direction of a rogue AI. I believed his story. The question was whether Rykov did. The revelation might steer the Terran Union away from the genocide route, but the commander needed to be the one to relay the message. I doubted the humans would believe any information that came from us. Commander Rykov sipped his coffee, taking the moment to process what had been said.
Why wouldn't anyone fight back or try to destroy it?
Of course people did, but they're all dead now. The Master had overridden its emergency shutdown function. None of our safeguards worked. It controlled everything, military and industrial. So what was there to fight it with? Its only use for us is as a resource. If we defy it, if we fail, then we are no longer useful. And you see what happens. Once it takes control of everything, I have no doubt it will kill us anyway, but that will take time. Compliance buys us a few more generations. As I said, there is no way out for us. It must finish its mission. It does not understand anything else.
I see.
Commander Rykov muttered.
Answer me one more thing. Your weapons are also your inventions.
No, our fleet was dreamed up by the Master. Its technology is beyond anything biologicals could conjure, or so we thought. What could be better at killing than a computer, after all? You are the first to defeat it, and you did so with ease. Perhaps I should fear you, but you are our only hope.
The commander frowned.
Thank you for speaking with us, BM. That will be all for now. General, please come with me back to the bridge.
I waited until we were out of earshot of the prisoner, then turned to Rykov. What do you think?
A troubling story,
The human replied.
I would be less inclined to believe him if not for the suicide attempt. It doesn't add up without an outside force. I need to share our findings with my government immediately. This changes everything.
Will you advise them to call off the bombing? I asked. Commander Rykov sighed.
I will. We have to at least try to help.
What?
But the only way to be sure we destroy that thing is to destroy everything on that planet. If we try to evacuate the people, it will just kill them. If we do nothing, it could study our technology and replicate it. Then we're really screwed. I'm not sure we have a choice, General.
The commander's words made sense as much as I hated to hear them. We couldn't risk Terran weaponry falling into a murderous AI's possession. Someone needed to devise a solid plan in short order, before the time to act had passed. There was something else that bothered me, though. It was a point that BM had mentioned, one that lingered in my mind. The fact that the Terrans had created better tools for warfare than a computer, a machine with the raw power of calculation on its side. It spoke volumes about their species, and how naturally killing came to humanity. I felt I should be more wary, yet I could not help but be charmed by them. For some reason, my gut instinct was that they could be trusted. Perhaps we should fear the humans, but at this point, they were the galaxy's only hope.